Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Hydrogen and Fuel Cells Europe here at the Hannover Messe 2023. I'd like to invite you all to have a seat here. There's quite a few free seats, so please, everybody around, have a seat, have a drink. The hostesses are here to help you. Drinks are on the house. So, we have a very interesting talk in store for you. We'll be talking about the future of hydrogen transport efficiency with NPROXX. We'll be talking to Mr. Johannes Lorenz, the Director of Marketing and Sales. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Johannes Lorenz. Hi, welcome. Please have a seat. So, NPROXX, please tell me more. What do you guys do? Where do you come from?
Well, NPROXX is a company who's been focusing and delivering hydrogen storage systems based on Type 4 technology. So our focus is compressed hydrogen, high pressure. It starts at 300 bars, goes up to 1,000 bars. We basically come from winding Type 4 vessels, and in the last almost a decade, right, we've been looking to this topic for 8 years now. We've developed several products. I hope we can discuss a little today, which are based on carbon fiber reinforced vessels and being installed into systems now.
Very cool. So you guys, you create the storage vessels for, well, I mean, it's in the title of the interview, the efficiency of hydrogen storage. And what's your role in the company? Can you please explain a bit about that?
Well, ever since we started, I was looking into marketing and sales. So in the early days, it was more or less like before hydrogen was booming. We were intensively thinking of where's an energy transition going to. So I'm looking after marketing and sales, obviously. And in the last years, that switched from developing products and support developing products into translating specific customer requirements into solutions, right? And this is where the title moves in. So yeah, with the carbon fiber pressure vessel at the center.
Great. And can you tell me a bit more about the projects? The products. What do you have on the market now that's maybe different from what the others have here?
So this is two questions. So let me try to split it up. First of all, we look very intensively into how to transport and store hydrogen, so serving the technical gas industry, the transport of hydrogen particularly. But we also focus on applications such as vehicles. So we really like trains, buses, trucks, passenger cars even, where we put hydrogen systems into. And I mean, how detailed do you want me to be on what is differentiating us? So I think ever since we started it, in our DNA is that we focus on what the customers really want from every segment, right? So it was more or less like what's convincing them, and let's try to give it shape into a product. But talking about transportation, how do we get more mass on it? How do we make it more efficient? But cost efficient, that's what I'm talking about. How do we ensure the product is surviving longer in the field or more easy to be used? Just very generic questions.
Yeah, so let's talk a bit more maybe in detail. So what are the pressure ranges that you're operating at?
Yeah, so we work at 300 bar to 1,000 bar. So when we split the world into two parts, which it is, for transport and storage, it's more or less 300 bar, 500 bar solutions, 640 bar solutions, even 1,000 bar. On the vehicle side, it's obviously 350 or 700 bar.
Yeah, all right. And then you said up to 1,000, so I guess that's in the refueling stations that you're likely going to use those, right?
Correct. So the 1,000 bar vessels we make are being used in the hydrogen refueling stations to basically feed the cars, which are filled at 700 bar. That's exactly right.
All right. I would also like to invite the audience. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or give me a little wink so that I know that you want to ask a question and I can bring the mic up to you. So regarding the products, what's new? What are you bringing new to the market that's increasing the efficiency, perhaps?
So there's actually one thing I wanted to share with you, the audience, and everyone looking today. What we've done in the last years is we've increased the volume of individual vessels for transport particularly, and we see that this is market is embracing that. So the next big thing we're going to introduce here during this fair and in the years to come is we are currently vertically arranging our vessels in containerized solutions, and we're going to do a big change. We do that horizontally in future, just to bring more volume to our customers and to reduce the amount of pressure vessels and bring obviously the advantages, talking about costs, etc., which we touched on.
All right, nice. So you're going from vertical to horizontal. You're already mentioning that then you can increase the volume that you transport. Are there any other benefits to orienting the tanks in that way?
Well, obviously, the volume is the leading advantage, but it also comes with some upsides, talking about the number of interfaces, the modularity of the systems. The overall safety case arguably improves. These are, let's say, side effects, which are definitely something we need to have an eye on or are important. But the key driver is basically volume and the efficiency of transport.
Right, right. So super interesting. And then what would be the difference? Let's say we have a 20-foot container. If we have the tanks horizontal versus having them, or sorry, vertical versus having them horizontal, what would be the change in there?
Do you want me to give you like numbers?
Perhaps.
I sense you want some. So the efficiency could be improved by roughly 20% in terms of volume, and whilst we increase the volume, and there's also a cost efficiency, which I would give the same number. So if you add it up, I'm not daring to say 40% more efficient, but close to it.
Impressive. That sounds like some serious cost saving that we can do there. Any questions from the audience at the moment? Not that I see, so let's continue. So, developing hydrogen storage, what are the biggest challenges you're facing and that you see?
Technology-wise, market-wise, what you're referring to? Let me do both. Let me do both. Well, obviously, we in the last years we've been increasing the dimensions of our products constantly. That is bringing challenge, right? That's not only bringing challenge to us in terms of developing the technology, but also finding ways to manufacture, designing new machines, testing facilities. Literally everything is new. Ever since we started, for 8 years, every step we take, always when we perform an improvement, it's new. Not new for the product, but new for the environment, new for the testing facilities, new materials. So it gives you a lovely headache in every occasion when you would like to improve something. So that's technology. And on the other side, market, right? So every logical step, which could be considered as the next step in terms of technology, needs to be implemented into the market, explained, but often we also need to address new safety cases, hazards, where often cost advantages cannot be realized, or we need to convince people of realizing it by also making them understand that this is improving the safety case, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like this safety point is a really big one, especially when we're talking 700 or even 1,000 bars. People are often concerned about the safety, I think the safety of hydrogen in general. I often hear that certification is a difficult point for tank manufacturers because of this high safety demand. What is your take on that?
Well, we're very happy with it, to be perfectly honest. The certification standards give us strong guidelines which make our safety case work, right? And let's be honest, the hydrogen products which are currently certified according to the standards are perfectly safe. You could even argue, are they too safe, right? So there's no reason to be concerned at all. But it needs to be understood that implementing these products itself can be considered as a change, which gives people sometimes a bizarre feeling. So certification is a topic which we can deal with. It's a normative fact. So I would generally say we are rather happy with it. We're working in the parallels, in the forums, making those standards, and yeah, it's good we got them.
Great. So all your, if I get it right, all of your tanks are fully certified and ready to put into any vehicle right now?
Of course. Are you making a reference to products not being advertised here, not being certified? That's rather mean of you. However, ours are, yes.
No, good. So, regarding these tanks that you already have on the market, what can we see at your stand?
So currently at the stand we're showing a bus system really. So over the last years we've been showing transport and storage systems which go into containers. very nice product. But this year it's a bus system. Well, they are quite big, so this is the only thing we show this year. Next year we'll bring something new, something more fancy, I hope. But for the remainder, we got everything digitally with us. First year paperless for us, actually. So all our data sheets, which we are willing to share, are also present on our booth. So come and see us there, please.
All right. Do we have any questions from the audience at the moment? What do you guys want to know about the tanks? I see a question over here.
You talked about safety and all that. What about lifetime?
Lifetime, yeah. I mean, this is a very good point. So within the different codes and standards, there are some lifetime definitions. Everything which goes on vehicles, there's like 15 years lifetime or cycle lifetimes. When we talk about trains, we as NPROXX chose for a special approach to fit the tank systems to the lifetime of a vehicle, which is roughly 30 years. So this is a critical element for the users, right? This is B2B. And when we talk about transport products or products which are being physically stored in a stationary environment, there's also two things. So stationary elements go there for 20 years, which I consider a rather long lifetime. And everything which goes on road and transport basically comes with unlimited lifetime, with the condition that you need to test it once in a while, which is every 10 years, more or less in all applications we do right now.
Right. So what I get from that is that lifetime is definitely not an issue for your tanks.
Well, so it's a criteria we like about our products, and every condition you got on the product, we try to improve in a way that the customer can get some value out of it. So we see it more as a challenge or a topic where we might be able to differentiate a little.
Right. Are there any more questions from the audience at the moment? No, then let's continue. So why should the people here go for NPROXX for their tanks? Why should they not go for any of the other tank manufacturers that are here today?
Well, I like this question. So first of all, I guess I've tried to make the point that we are offering a variety of products which are defined to be used properly. We're constantly thinking of how to get the max out of it, so please feel invited and come and see us and testify yourself if we are as good as we claim. Well, there is some technical attributes to it, which come with form factors and product quality criteria, which we can also talk about, which I would claim to be beneficial on our side.
All right, so you're saying that, of course, you have the best tanks on the market. I feel.
Not as blunt as you frame it, but obviously I do.
Of course, now I'm putting words in your mouth. No.
Yeah.
But so with just hydrogen tanks, you're not there yet, right? So you need a full hydrogen systems. Do you have any strategic partners that you work with in order to get like the full systems working?
I mean, this is a learning we've made after 2 or 3 years doing tanks. Clients want systems, and they want systems be plug-and-play capable. So we have a whole bunch of partners we're working with, vendors, partners, however you want to frame it. We're very friendly with them, who are providing components such as piping, valves, frames and covers. All these components obviously make the system in the end, which we combine to what we consider as a solution.
Right, so it's actually, at NPROXX you can't buy just a tank, but you can buy the whole system, plug and play, really a container that you can store your hydrogen in and get it out again?
Well, I'm not against selling vessels, but we see that the majority of participants in the hydrogen field, they need to learn a whole lot of things, right? So often they are like, I don't really want to learn how to make hydrogen tank systems. So they're asking us to get the job done. Yet there is absolutely skilled companies around who've been around for years who are perfectly capable of buying tanks only in exclamation marks really, which is perfectly fine for us. We love doing that.
All right, great. Any more questions from the audience at the moment? Great. So then, the solutions that you make, the tanks with the whole integration, is it more of a one-on-one? So you have a client that comes to you. We have this bus. We need some hydrogen storage on it, or is it really more of a serious production where you have a standardized hydrogen storage system which you can just plug into any FC vehicle?
Yeah. This is like, I mean, with what we want to reach as society, making this planet CO2 or emission-free in general, of course we need to think serious, and this is what we focus. Right? One bus is not going to help us as a company for commercial success. One bus is not going to help us as a society. So obviously we like those doing large projects more, a little more than those who just pop in and say, "Can you find me 2 tanks? I think I put it in my garden because I want to make my own hydrogen." I mean, that's not our business case, and this is not what we're aiming for. Of course, there is always these interesting startups which we start collaborating with, and we see them grow in excellent ways. So I'm not saying don't come to us if you only have yet a limited scope, but we like good ideas, we like good plans, really.
Yeah, of course. And if you can standardize, you can produce at a larger scale, you can take advantage of these economies of scale to drive down the cost, and that, of course, reduces the cost of ownership and everything, and that's only good for the hydrogen economy. So that makes perfect sense. So we're not there yet, right? With hydrogen, we are working all hard. But if you had to say one thing that this is something that we really need in order to push the market forward and to push the, let's say, the hydrogen mobility to the next level, what would it be?
Cheap molecules. So that's the only thing I care about. At macroeconomic level, I don't really want any funding on something. I don't really mind. I would like to see that the end customer, the industrial users, the people who have to transport goods, can find a lovely business case in hydrogen. I think this is what the entire industry is waiting for, or aiming for, or hoping for, and this is what if I may make a wish to you, this is what I wish. The rest, competition, technology challenges, we'll cope with that. We're good.
I'll add cheap molecules to my wish list for Christmas this year. Then,
well, you got a beard like Santa.
Exactly. All right, thank you very much, Johannes, for being with me here today. I assume you all have a lot of questions, so if you want to talk to Johannes or you want to see their hydrogen systems, please go to booth number E33. I believe it's just one more lane that way and then all the way there, and then you can find it. You will find the lovely, I think we find the bus hydrogen system there, right?
Indeed. Come and see us, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Johannes.
Thanks for having me. Bye.